Okay guys, hey, welcome back. Welcome to my living room. As you can see, I am distancing myself much like many of you are, so I thought we'd just run through a little full body flow. It's going to be relatively quick this morning, just something to kind of get yourself moving during the day. So we can start with just your mat, just yourself. We're going to bring your knees underneath your hips, and we'll just walk our hands away from us and let your head rest down nice and heavy here. Nice open chest to the floor. Big breath in and out, letting your upper body be really nice and heavy. And we're going to take your elbows underneath your shoulders. Your fingers are interlocked here. We can have our eye line looking down just between your wrists. We're going to step one foot back and then the second, letting those hips sit at about shoulder height. So you want your feet to be at hip distance apart here. We do keep the back of our neck long, and we're just going to breathe and start to move ourselves forward and back. And we're using our feet to project this movement here. So kind of like you're pointing the toes and then you're flexing the feet. And we lift the belly button as we go for 10, 9, 8. You want to keep breathing here. 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can rest both knees down. Again, sink your chest forward here, hands flat on the floor. And then we'll bring ourselves back. So we're going to come back to that, elbows underneath shoulder. Stick your thumbs up this time, rest your forehead down onto those thumbs, and we'll have our knees at hip distance apart, just directly underneath your hips here. We're going to move your right leg slightly more into center, extend that left leg out nice and long here. So we're keeping our spine long, keeping your belly button lifted, pointing your toes. We're going to start with just a simple lift. Inhale, lower. So it's an exhale as we come up, and an inhale as we come down. And as you're going up here, you're squeezing right where your bum and your thigh meet. So right into the smile line, underneath the glutes. As we go, think of your midline, so where your inner thigh is of that leg that's moving. And we want to draw in towards that midline each time we go, so we're keeping the inner thigh working. Let's go for another 5, 4, 3. Good. Next time we come up, we're going to hold at the top. Beautiful. And we'll come into our next movement here. So you're going to drop that foot over towards your right edge of the mat. We lift up through center and down to the left corner. So you're using your mat here as your guide. No need to watch your foot. We want to keep the back of the neck long, so keep looking down. If you've got your thumbs protecting your forehead or propping your forehead up here, it's going to be nice and easy for you to keep that neck long. As we're going, try not to let your waist and your hips move. So it's just that leg. And you're going to feel your right side getting warm. Let's go for another 5, 4. Abs are drawn in here. 3, 2. Let's go. Last one. You're going to finish with your leg on your left side. We'll bring it up to hip height and take your hands onto your mat where your elbows just were. So now we're in our tall 4-point kneel position. We're going to inhale, toes tap down. Exhale, they lift. And I'm just going to get you to keep a soft bend through the elbows here. So we're getting a little bit of passive work through our arms as we go. But again, we're just thinking of that squeeze through your bottom each time you lift. Thinking of leg reaching in towards the midline. And take your gaze to the top of your mat. Neck is going to stay long. Let's go for 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Let's drop over to the right. Lifting up through center. down to the left. So it's that little bit of side to side action. And now with your longer arms, it's going to take a little bit more concentration through the core to stop our waist and hip from moving. So you don't want to feel like your hips are moving with that leg. It's just that leg that goes. Press your fingertips down into the mat. Let's go for our final 4. 3, pointing the toes. 2, 1. Coming back up, straight behind you. Rest your right elbow down. So your left hand stays in line with right elbow now. We're going to inhale, knee touches elbow. We exhale, extend, and as you extend, I want you to lift. So it's an inhale, bend, and exhale, extend and lift. Let's go here for 8, 7, keeping tummy reaching in. 6, point those toes as you lift. 5, 4, good. Exhale out for 3, 2, last 1. Let's hold it up. And we'll do some little tiny lifts here to finish. Good. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can rest down. Both knees coming nice and wide. Reach your arms long. Forehead touches the floor. Big breath in and out, release. Let's do one more big breath in and big breath out. Beautiful. I'm going to turn myself to the other side just so you can see my legs, but we're just going to be bringing ourselves back down once more, elbows onto the floor, with your thumbs reaching up, supporting your head. This time your left leg is going to be in towards center. Your right leg is reaching out behind you. Keep your hips square to the floor here, so we're not stacking our hips one on top of the other. We drop that right hip down, keeping it pointing towards the mat. It's an inhale where we lay here. On your exhale breath, we're going to squeeze through your bottom and lift. So I'm going to hit my couch. So it's an exhale up and an inhale down. And we find that control through the speed, so I really want you to use your breath. You're going to be feeling it a lot more. Exhale up. When you take it slow, and really tune in to how your body is feeling as you go here. Now if your leg is long and you do start to feel this through the knee, and it starts to feel uncomfortable, you can add just a soft bend through the knee here, so it'll be a bit more of a bent leg. But we do want this movement to be starting right at your hip regardless. Let's go for another 6. As you exhale to lift, that's when you're going to pull your belly away from your pants. For 3, 2, 1. We can hold up. We're going to drop down to your left edge of your mat, lifting up and over. So it's a little rainbow here that we draw. And we keep our waist working. So really, no matter what we're doing, we want our core to be engaged. And this way you actually have to work a little bit harder the whole time we go here. And we're getting that nice bit of passive work through the core. So when we start our abs, which we're going to do next, you're going to feel it a little bit faster and a little bit deeper. And also it helps us stabilize into the legs. Nice big rainbow each time for our final 5. And 4. Squeezing the bum for 3, 2, and 1. You're going to find your highest point. Take your hands where your elbows just were. We're coming straight into those drop and lift. And as you're dropping and lifting here, it's an exhale up. We keep those elbows soft. Keep your gaze to the front of your mat. And our abs drawing in. So it's just a lift up to your hip height. There's no need to go any higher. Just until you're squeezing the bum. Let's go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, holding up on 1. We're going to start those little rainbows again. So exactly as we just did with our elbows down. But remember, when you've got the long arms, we're working the core a little bit more, and we keep it slow. Keep it about the control. Let's go for 5, 4, 3. Last 2. Last 1. Come up to that hip height. Rest your left elbow down. Right hand and left elbow are in line with one another. We're going to inhale. Bring your knee to touch that elbow. Exhale back and lift. Good. Last 10 here. So we're going to go for 8 more. We want to exhale back. 7. You should be feeling those legs. 6. 5. When you're pulling back, lift the belly. 4. 3. Nice and high. 4, 2. Let's hold up on 1, and we're going to do those little lifts to finish here. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We can rest down. And we'll take both of our knees nice and wide. Again, we're going to have a 2 breath break, so in through the nose, out through the mouth. Once more, breathing in and out. Beautiful. And we can come up into your seated. So we're going to bring those legs out in front of you. As I said before, we're working a little bit more into the core. So we'll have our feet planted in front of us on the mat. With your feet, I want your toes to be staying heavy, so you need to have quite a sharp bend in the knees. So your heels are drawn quite close towards the body. We want our knees and our feet to be at hip distance apart. We're going to take hold underneath your knees here. Sitting up nice and tall, roll the shoulders down and back. Pull your belly button in. It's going to be an inhale as we sit back off of your sit bones onto the fleshy part above your sit bones, rolling back. Feet stay heavy to a point of challenge for you. As you exhale, we're going to tuck our chin, pull the belly in, and draw ourselves up. So it's an inhale back and an exhale tuck as we roll up. Let's go for another 3 like this. 2, we breathe in and out. Last 1, breathing in and out. We're going to reach those hands straight out ahead. Keep going with that pattern. So it's an inhale back and an exhale up. Breathing in and out. Let's go for 4 more. Breathing in and out. Watch your knees as you go so they don't move in towards one another or out away from each other. They just stay still. 2 more. Let's hold back on this last one, and we're going to have some little bounces here. So we're making sure it's our core that's working. Pull the belly in. Toes are heavy, like you've got weights sitting on top of them. Let's go here for 10, 9, 8, keep breathing, 7, maybe you can get a little bit lower, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to reach all the way up. Beautiful. Scoot yourself forward a little bit more so you can lay down flat on your mat. Now we want to be nice and long and flat through the spine. I've got my phone underneath me, so I can't quite get it super flat. But think about pressing the rib cage down, pressing the area underneath your ribs down, but keeping your tailbone nice and heavy here. So we're not tucking or lifting your bum. The pelvis is heavy. We're going to reach both hands straight up to the ceiling, palms face in towards one another. We inhale here. On your exhale breath, let's take one leg into tabletop and then the other. So in our tabletop, our knees are stacked above our hips, our shins are parallel to the floor, and generally you need to drop your feet down a tiny bit more than where you would think they should be to get that perfect tabletop position. So let's take a big breath in here. On your natural exhale, we're going to tap one foot down. We inhale to lift. Notice this movement starts at the thigh, so that bend through your knee stays the exact same the whole time, down and up. Think about keeping your ribs low in your chest and keeping your face soft. Reach those fingertips long. Let's go here for another 6, 5, 4, 3, pressing your ribs down into the floor, 2, on 1, we're going to leave those legs up and we'll just take the hands behind your head, fingers interlocked, thumbs reach down the length of your neck, lifting your head and the tips of your shoulders here. We're going to do that exact same movement again from this contraction position. See if you can bring your belly down a little bit lower, thinking of your widest and your flattest core. As we go here for another 6, 5, head is heavy, 4, 3, 2, on 1, legs can stay up, press those legs and feet together. We're going to inhale, head rests back. As you exhale, the head can lift into contraction and we'll lengthen the legs. We inhale, bend, release. Exhale, lengthen, lift. Let's go here for another 6, exhale up, inhale down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding up. Take that right leg into your hands, draw your knee towards your nose, lengthen the left leg here, belly pulls in, we inhale. Exhale, we're going to swap. Let's go here for 10, 9, point the toes, 8, 7, lift your shoulders off the mat, 5, 4, 3, 2, we're going to hold here on 1, lengthening that right leg as well. If you can, take hold up further on your leg. If you can't, you can hold underneath your thigh here. We inhale and we exhale to swap with long legs now. Good. 4, 10, 9, lift those shoulders, 8, 7, chin is tucked, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both knees pull in. We have a nice big hug here. A little bit of a rock from side to side. And then we can roll ourselves all the way up into your seated. And that is us done. Again, a nice quick one for your morning. Thanks for watching.